Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
on behalf of Clewly, Knockdown Promotion. Welcome to Center Ring Festival Hall for a Fuel World Championship show. Our main event is for the International Sport Karate Association World Light Welterweight Championship between, from Wales, Colin, Stilman. He meets the gentleman, Tibet, Hamza. Tibet Hamza. Our other World Championship match is for the International Sport Karate Association Amateur World Super Middleweight Championship from Wales. Clewly, the Isca World Champion, against Gurkan, Ozkan. That's our dual championship match bouts. Other great battles on tonight's program. Celal, Ilhan meets Dave McKinnon. Celal, Ilhan. Bada, Arafan against Ashley Buck. On the comeback trail, Ange, Goussis against Soliman. Nader, Pat Costanzo. Birol, Simseker, Alexie from Russia. And our opening bout, Stuart, Moller and Capuano. We're almost ready for showtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Festival Hall here in Melbourne for an exciting card of 8 events under the auspices of the International Sport Karate Association, featuring the ISKA Freestyle World Light Welterweight title and the ISKA Amateur World Super Middleweight title. Joining me in commentary for the first event on the card tonight is Steve Contos. Steve, welcome to the ringside.
Thank you, Ian. This is going to be an exciting night tonight. We have 2 world titles on the line. 2 Australian boys from Turkish descent fighting 2 Welsh boys all the way from England. So it's going to be an exciting night tonight.
Preliminary event just coming into the ring now, and this will be an interesting fight. This will be 3 2-minute rounds for the decision between David Capuano and Stuart Moller. Moller will be going out in the blue corner and Capuano in the red.
Dave Capuano almost knocked himself out then. He took a nasty slip on the canvas.
A little embarrassing. Of course, it will be tension plus for him here at the ring. This is a packed house here tonight to watch this. A great crowd and very, very warm.
It's good to see the sport of kickboxing has been growing over the last couple of years here in Australia, and it's good to see nights like tonight where we have full houses at popular fight venues like Festival Hall. We'll just let Howard do some introductions now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your ringside judges, Mr. Joe Lanciana, Mr. Mark Colin, and from New Zealand, welcome Lucy Sassoon Tui, all the way from the Shaking Isles of New Zealand. Their opening bout is scheduled 3 by 2 rounds for Super Middleweight Division, occupying the blue corner last December. He won the Isca Victorian Middleweight Championship on the Top Shot Nick Lund program at Hillside. Wearing black trunks with red piping, Darren Grundy, Boyd Hooper, John Merkovich in the corner, scaling 75.6 kilograms. Would you welcome silky smooth Stuart Moller. In the red corner with Fabio and Paul assisting Ivan Repo from Werribee, Victoria. 25 years of age, 8 contests, scaling 74.9 kilograms. Would you welcome David Reese Capuano. Bruce Haynes, your referee. 3 rounds.
Well, introductions are done very quickly, and of course a little bit of an embarrassing moment before it all got going here.
Yes, poor old David took a slip and almost fell on his head. just in the intro there. This is going to be an interesting fight, Ian. David Capuano's had about 8 fights. He's only had a few wins, though, whereas Stuart's had 6 fights for 6 wins, and he's very impressive, Stuart Moller. Comes out of the Boyd Hooper stable. Very impressive stable here in Victoria.
Bruce Haynes has read them the rules, and both fighters going back. Last minute preparation in the corner. And waiting for the bell in the first of 8 events on the card here tonight. Festival Hall, Melbourne has come alive for the kickboxing.
Round 1.
Full aggression straight off.
Nice high and low kicks there by Stuart.
He's certainly right into it from the first bell. Referee calls him to break.
You'll find with most of the amateurs, they get right into it, and that's a nice front kick there by David Capuano. Nice combination.
There seems to be 2 favourite kicks in this sport, rather than the more picturesque karate kicks that we see in other competition. And that seems to be the front push and what I call the round kick going to the top of the thigh.
You're not too far. It's actually called the roundhouse kick, and you go both for the legs and for the upper body, and sometimes even the head if you're good enough with those kicks.
Of course, the important thing is not to make them too
nice
telegraphic.
roundhouse leg kick. Referee splits them apart.
Trying to get a combination going in this first round of this 3-round.
Stuart seems very relaxed in this first round. David is already limping. Nice straight right, nice leg kick. Yes, Stuart's worked out that front leg of David's is in agony, so he's going for it.
Trying to work on it now. Under 10 seconds remaining in this one. Stuart Moller in the blue corner. David Capuano in the red. Oh, and down again.
Come on, a big round of applause. David Capuano.
As I was saying previously, with amateur fights, you don't get any of the working out that some of the professionals do to work out the other opponent and see what his technique is. Usually with amateurs, they go straight forward. In this round, these guys certainly showed us that.
There's certainly a lot of chat going on at the red corner at the moment.
Yeah, the doctor's checking out David's eye.
Dr. Peter Lewis, of course, here ringside, and is very meticulous, speaking with the...
Of course, the doctor there has the power to actually stop a fight, depending on how serious he sees the injuries.
He's having a word to the referee now about that eye. And the one, of course, the trouble is David Capuano in the red corner. Seconds out is the call. Referee Bruce Haynes calls up waiting for the bell.
Stuart straight into it. Working on that leg.
And you can see the welts from down here again.
It's just a slip. Not sure what the referee's telling him. Maybe not to slip. Not too sure he can control that. Working on that front leg.
Bruce Haynes let him break again, back into it. High kick by Miller that time. And now questionable. Questionable. Will Capuano be able to continue? Yes is the call. Halfway mark coming up in this second round. A lot of aggression on the ropes. Referee calling for him to get away from the ropes. Box on.
Some wild swinging there by both opponents.
Moller definitely going towards that left leg of Capuano, and he's in trouble with that. Question being asked. Raises his gloves again, wants to go on with it. Incidentally, what we're not observing is...
Oh, nice roundhouse kick straight to the head. Sent Stuart to the canvas, but he got straight back up again. Referee now giving him an 8 count.
He's looking for that breather right about now. Moller bleeding too from the nose.
Yeah, it was an earlier straight right, short uppercut.
And let me tell you, that bell would have been a very welcome relief right at this stage.
Well, funnily enough, the bell actually can't save a fighter in these fights. Once he hits the canvas, the referee's in charge, and
so the count can continue.
He can continue the full count. As soon as his count is finished, then the bell can either...
Dr. Peter Lewis up in the ring again, and again examining David Capuano's eye. And a serious conversation with his supporters there, now discussing the matter with referee Bruce Haynes. Capuano has been down twice in this fight. If you want to be technical, 3 times, one with a slip, as we called it here.
That's right.
And also receiving some treatment is Stuart Moller, but to a lesser degree. The bleeding on the nose seems to have subsided for the moment, and the doctor's still discussing the issue.
It looks to me as if the doctor doesn't really want it to go on, but he's seeking advice from other quarters there. So
Bruce Haynes having a word to David Capuano, and they're going to go into the final round. 2 minutes of this fight remaining.
Ooh. I think Stuart can sense victory here, so he's going to unleash in this round. At least that's the feeling I get, but anything can happen. This is kickboxing.
Break being called. 30 seconds down in the fight. He's called it off. He's called it off, and the call by Bruce Haynes. TKO to David Capuano. Against David Capuano. Stuart Moller, the victor in our first bout here. We're getting all excited with the issue. I was a little concerned for David Capuano there. He's talking, and he and Moller just together now, speaking with the connections. And I think it was a good decision. In fact,
I think so. David took a fair bit of punishment there, not just on the legs, but Peter Lewis, the doctor, was also worried about that eye and the closure of that eye. So I think in hindsight that probably was a very good decision. Ian, this is one of the most exciting up-and-comers I've seen since I've been involved in the sport of kickboxing. His name is Alex Gronin. He hails from the USSR, or the USSR it was then called, actually from, he did tell me, and I can't remember the, Kiev, that's right, how can I forget Kiev, in Russia.
Yeah, I've eaten something like that. It's wonderful dish.
But he is very, very exciting to watch. great hand technician.
Birol Simseker, of course, his opponent. This is a 5 by 2-minute round bout. ISKA, Australian full contact, light welterweight title.
Don't worry about it. Stay there.
Well, the connections have been very excited about this fight here this evening, and they predict it's going to be fast and furious.
It certainly will be. These are the lighter weights. As distinct from the heavier weights, their hands and their legs are much faster. They're of a smaller size.
Birol Simseker come out here and done a gymnastics display. His warm-up was absolutely amazing. In fact, it made me wince some of the movements he made.
These boys are very flexible, very good. A lot of hard work in the gym, preparing them for tonight.
Challenging for the title, trained by Jubilant Academy.
Simseker coming out of the red corner, being introduced now. Gronin will come out of the blue corner. So far, we've had a win to the blue corner in the first bout this evening. We'll see if they can make it 2 this time.
Birol is also a very good fighter. Comes from the Jamal Hassan stable. Howard there introducing him. He has a huge following here tonight.
He does it so well and adds a lot of colour. And of course, these competitors, I think, also are brought up to the moment by the introduction coming into tonight, the background music, and a very, very warm crowd. Again, Festival Hall packed tonight for this kickboxing competition.
Victoria, Australia,
Oh, Alex got a nice reception there. But you're absolutely right, Ian. I was speaking to Gurkan. No, not a very nice welcome. As I was saying, I was speaking to Gurkan Ozkan, who's fighting for the super middleweight world title here later on tonight, backstage, and he was saying, he was walking around introducing himself to everybody and shaking hands and whatnot. And I said to him, "What are you doing out front here? You should be backstage getting ready for the fight, preparing mentally, if not physically." He said, "No, I love this." He said, "This is what I train for."
I think it says it all. Our referee on this event is Bruce Haynes. The fighters.
Black and blue, statewide jukebox and Tibet jet travel. 5 rounds. Round 1.
Dollars gone. Touch gloves.
Get ready for a very exciting fight. Birol throws the first combination.
The Russian undaunted by the flurry.
Both boys trying to work each other out, I think. No. Alex certainly being the more cautious of the two at the moment. Nice side kick.
It's one of the more difficult manoeuvres to pull off right. Desperation right from the word go here. Breaks the call from Bruce Haynes, gets him apart. Extended right, landed then by Simseker. Oh, yes. Almost put a combination together. Starting to get going now. Oh, there's a go. Back on the ropes. And it seems to be that neither is going to give an inch at this stage in time. Only about 15 seconds remaining. Oh,
he's hurt. He's hurt. He's down.
Neutral corner is the call. Russian bleeding profusely.
I'm afraid it's all over.
And the towel's been thrown in. A jubilant crowd here. Victory go to Birol Simseker. in the second of 5 rounds here tonight for the ISKA Australian full contact light welterweight title. And you can't believe the emotion. Flags flying, people to their feet. Howard Lee coming in to take his position as main announcer here at Festival Hall to make the official announcement.
I'm not sure I actually caught the combination that hurt Alex there, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it was an uppercut. I'd like to see that on the replay. Fighter had his back to me at that stage, but his knees did buckle. And I'm pretty sure it was an uppercut that got him.
There was a right just before that too that I think stunned him, and he started to bleed from a cut lip. And I think at that stage he had to stop and think, and that was when it was clear to Simseker that it was on. He had that opportunity, and he just went forward from that point of time, and it was just all over that quick. It was amazing.
Isca, Australian full contact light welterweight champion of Australia, Birol Simseker.
Well, the crowd relishing the moment. A very, very popular win here tonight.
Yes, black and blue, Gary is here. Statewide jukebox
And
company.
Dr. Peter Lewis in Alexie Gronin's corner. And just making sure that this young man is quite okay. It's, the towel was thrown in by the blue corner in this case. And as I say, Dr. Peter Lewis in there attending at the moment and talking to the defeated contender.
Welcome Mimek Alexie from Supper Restaurant. Good evening, Mimek. Also Mark Galea. Good evening, Mark. Michael. Okay, we're just to rumble with our next event for the Isca Australian Cruiserweight Championship. Scheduled 5 rounds. Would you welcome in the blue corner, trained by Terry Nichols from Keon Park, wearing black trunks with red piping. 4 bouts, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Scaling 87.1 kilograms. Pounding Pat Costanzo. Pat Costanzo. Across the ring in the red corner. From Brunswick, we thank Joker della Spizza and the Moody Ponds Gymnasium. Trained by Slam and Sam Greco, already a big favorite on the martial arts scene. Wearing white front with Nader across the front with blue with black piping. 2 bouts, 2 wins. Made a sizzling debut last December on Tarek Solik's big program at Thornbury. Beat Steve Irvine. Tonight scaling 87.7 kilograms. Jolting Joe Nader. Bruce Nader.
Well, another lively introduction for these two opponents with Nader and Costanzo. Costanzo coming out of the blue corner, Nader coming out of the red corner. Had a fairly even match here.
Well, I'm not game enough to say, actually, after saying that Alexie was one of the most exciting fighters I've seen for a long time.
We'll forgive you for that one.
But no, I've seen both boys fight. Pat has had 4 fights for 2 wins and 1 draw. And Joe Nader has had 2 fights for 2 wins. This will be a very interesting contest. Both boys heavy, cruiserweight, sorry.
And a flurry of gloves to start it all off. This, of course, is for the ISKA, Australian Cruiserweight title. Both solid boys, extremely fit, trying each other out. Costanzo at this stage taking the fight up to Nader. But you couldn't say at this stage of time that either had an advantage.
No, it's still early. Both boys feeling each other out. But Pat certainly more on the offensive. Referee breaking them up again.
Bit of fancy stuff there, and back into his own corner. Here's push Joe Nader. Referee calling for the break. Referee again in this event is Bruce Haynes. Five rounds to decide the Australian Cruiserweight title.
Nice front kick there by Joe Nader. Pat seeming to load that right just about every time he throws it. He'll be looking for the knockout, I guess. As distinct from the previous fight, these boys are a little bit heavier, therefore a little bit slower.
Certainly don't in any way lack. Bell goes for first round. And I think at this stage in time, fairly even on points, one would say.
I'd probably put Pat slightly in front. He threw a few more leg kicks there and a few more scoring shots. But again, Joe was a little bit more on the defensive. Both boys still trying to sort each other out, though.
Is there a minimum amount of leg kicks they're supposed to put in? It's not like the American rules where they're supposed to lay 8 leg kicks or attempt thereof?
No, you can throw as many leg kicks and punches as you want. Really, it's just scoring each possible occasion. And
we should explain at this point in time where the scoring points, or the best scoring points, are in respect to kicking.
Well, this is kickboxing, so leg kicks and any sort of kicks really do score as evenly as do the punches.
Well, the areas that are out of bounds are?
Obviously, the groin is pretty much it.
Inside the leg?
Inside, outside, body, head, all that's allowed.
Okay. Round number 2 coming up. Waiting for referee Bruce Haynes. Seconds just a little slow getting out. Bell is called for. Round number 2 here for the ISKA Australian Cruiserweight title. Fresh air shot to start it off. And again, Joe Nader on the aggressive.
Actually, Pat Costanzo, but Joe seems to be biding his time there, I think. Nice roundhouse kick to the legs there by Pat.
Very cool, calm customer, Pat. Doesn't change the expression on his face at any time. Concentration. Whoa, that was a miscue. The fighter's being asked in the neutral corner to step back. Temperature here at Festival Hall tonight in the high 20s.
Nice straight right there by Pat. Lands square on the jaw of Joe Nader. Both boys trading leg kicks.
They're pretty equal, and that stakes them back on the ropes. And Bruce Haynes really working overtime. Nader getting right in there to the midriff. Costanzo happy there to stand there and swap it. And the end of round 2. Well, there's not a whole lot in this. There's certainly, if anybody may have a points advantage, just very, very slightly at the moment, I'd have to give it to Pat Costanzo.
I'd say you're right there, Ian. He's certainly in front of my scorecard.
3 judges here tonight who, it appears at this stage, may be the decision makers for this event. They are Joe Ianciano, Mark Colley, and Lucy Tui, all the way across from New Zealand. And we certainly welcome you here tonight. First 2 events on the card here tonight, both by TKOs. And the second one a little bit more colourful with the throwing into the towel, in fact. And that was a bit of a surprise upset, I think, there, that it happened so quickly.
Well, I thought it would be a much closer fight than what it ended up being, but I'm sure Alex will recover from this loss and be back stronger than ever.
Concentration now between Joe Nader and Pat Costanzo. This is for the Australian Cruiserweight title. Round 3 coming to us now. Nader nearly had the legs taken from under him. Exchanges in the corner, and again, it's Costanzo who is the aggressor. Costanzo. Making the exchanges. The kick to the right leg, returning it again. Firstly Costanzo, secondly Nader, turning around in a clinch.
It's only the 3rd round. There seems to be some fatigue on both boys' faces there.
Yes, well, of course, it's 2 rounds remaining after this. They're going to be very tired. Boys are just saying about 27 degrees here at Festival Hall. And to equate that in the old temperature, around about 80 degrees, 85 degrees.
Oh, nice combination. Caught him with a straight left right on the jaw there. Joe still going for it.
Yeah, Joe Nader, this is what he needed.
The referee's not stepping in, so both boys are trading punches there.
Nader badly needed to get those points. He was lagging behind in our estimations. It certainly piled in there, but couldn't go on with it. And now Costanzo on the back foot.
Well, this is where fitness really does start to tell.
With no disrespect to either competitor here, it's almost getting into slow motion stage.
Well, it's to be expected, I guess, with the heavier weights, but it seems to have struck early. Well, it was a much better round for Joe.
What were your thoughts on that?
That was a much better round for Joe. I think he won that round. I still have Pat slightly in front, but it's a much closer fight now.
Ice packs being applied to the legs, and I tell you what, they'd be a tired pair of legs, I think, on both departments. Connections there talking, the respective coaches. Also, the psychological part of it comes into it now. I would think that you'd want to be seeing the clear picture and getting that reassurance.
This is where the trainer is so important. He's the one that's really telling you what's happening in that ring, because you're really focusing on the other person and not so much on what's happening around you. So his trainer's there to tell him what he should be doing and what he shouldn't be doing. So
I felt Joe Nader played a little bit of catch-up in that last round, though.
He certainly did. He certainly did. And he traded there some punches in the corner. In fact, I thought he had Pat at one stage, but Pat fought back well.
Bruce Haynes calls them together.
Ooh, nice straight right there by Pat Costanzo.
It's implied, I think, it was a little low, but the referee didn't want to know about it.
There's a groin. Oh, no, the referee's not stepping in. Joe taking advantage of that. Ooh, some trading of knees there.
Well, you know, I guess the old saying is, you give it to me, I'll take it. Referee watching very intently. Break is a call. And once again, referee Bruce Haynes pulls Nader and Costanzo apart. Back to centre ring. Costanzo again, the aggressor. Nader starting to lane a couple.
Finding his mark now. Nice combinations there. Lefts and rights.
Definitely the Nader, the stronger in close. Nader now starting to get a more positive stare on his expression on his face. And a couple of times he's had Costanzo on the back pedal. Back in his own corner, Costanzo covering up.
Smile there on Pat's face saying, none of those hurt. Oh, nice straight right. Another straight right.
Crowd started to get very vocal. Costanzo in, trying for the leg kicks again. Nader retaliates. Really bullocking in there. And as I say, very, very strong in close. The bell. The end of round number 4. How do you see the fight now, Steve? Really hotting up.
Very close now. It's another strong round for Joe Nader there. He's some great scoring shots, both lefts and rights. I'd now say that Joe would probably be slightly in front, but it's a very close fight.
So it is the 5th and final deciding round for this ISKA Australian Cruiserweight title.
Absolutely. This has been an exciting fight. It's all down to the wire now. The last round will decide who the winner is. On my scorecard, anyway.
Okay. Both competitors in deep conversation with their trainers. And as we mentioned before, the psychological aspect of the whole thing is all going to come together with what physical excesses they've got left. And in close at the moment, Joe Nader is certainly getting on top. So we'll have to see if Pat Costanzo can stand back and virtually pick him off that way. Touch of gloves. Final round. 2 minutes. Whoa. Waiting for the bell. Costanzo the first one in there. Started off in the first 2 rounds very strong. Nader coming back in the last 2. We believe they are fairly equal on points. This will be the decider.
The illegal kick to the groin there.
Again, Nader piling in on top of Costanzo. Costanzo fighting back. He knows that there's no more time left. Points are up for grabs. Changing it in the neutral corner. Determination. Costanzo in the black trunks. Nader in the white. Breakers the call.
Joe's left leg has taken some battering during the fight, and it's really starting to play up now. Although he uses it effectively there.
Welt starting to appear. Costanzo
nice
again
left.
in trouble.
Another nice left.
Nader piling in. This is where he's been strongest right through this fight. And the referee getting a raspberry. Bruce Haynes, hope he's getting double money. Suggestion of a low blow. Time ticking away. Looks like it's going to go down to a judge's decision. Two of them again. Costanzo again. Nader fighting back. Nader again. And there it is.
I think both boys relieved to hear that bell. Excellent fight.
Well, this is going to be a very, very close decision. And to both of them, congratulations, an excellent exhibition of their craft.
Absolutely.
But only one of them, unfortunately, can be the new ISKA Australian Cruiserweight title holder.
I'm glad I'm a commentator here tonight, not a judge. This is going to be a real close one.
And we're now about to cross up to Howard Lee for the all-important decision. And right at the moment, the two very, very battered fighters together. And the decision coming our way.
Michael, can I have the score sheet? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a very close battle by split decision. And the new champion, Cruiserweight, Isca to Nader.
Winning the ISKA Australian Cruiserweight title over Pat Costanzo on a split decision.
That you don't know about the big man, the big man, the big picture, but you don't need a silver ticket. I fuck the way it's looking hoodie, good that you don't get no holiday. Sliding, Steven, so that's like a conflict that is different. Talking at the right, like an obstacle. So if you want it, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for the Isca Australian Full Contact Light Middleweight Championship. Scheduled 5 rounds. Would you welcome in the blue corner with David Hitchcock, Steve Irvine assisting from Hastondale. Unbeaten in 6 bouts. 6 bouts, 6 wins. Scaling 72.3 kilograms. Soliman. Across the ring in the red corner, formerly South Pacific Middleweight champion, each of the Silver Fox, Paul Fifield, manning Stephen Contostas. He has had 27 bouts, 23 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 2 kilograms. The Angel, Ange Goussis.
Both competitors going in for instructions from the referee again, being Bruce Haynes.
There's no below the waist kicking on this fight, so opponents are not allowed to kick to the legs. So guys that can kick above the waist with more experience will have a bit more of an advantage. And I believe Sam is a very good high kicker, as you can just see there. But Ange is a pretty good boxer too, so it's going to be a very interesting fight to see, a bit more different rules.
Sam Soliman coming out of the blue corner, Ange Goussis out of the red. And we might be able to get some colour commentary out of Steve Contostas, but he has a management child with one of these kids, and that's Ange Goussis. How's he been going?
Well, both boys seem very keen. This is his first fight back after 18 months layoff, so he's keen to make a show of it.
A lot of aggression.
As I said, we can see the difference of the fighting here. There's a lot of nice high head to them that will produce some very nice high kicks.
A lot of people are ignorant of just how athletic this particular sport is, I'm sure.
Well, I'm also a trainer at the same time, and some of these guys, I train them myself personally, and if they're getting ready for a competition, they have to at least for 6 or 8 weeks train every morning and every night, 5 or 6 times a week, and that's a lot of work for an athlete.
A lot of aggression. And again, stepping in, Bruce Haynes, really working overtime. He has refereed the first 3 bouts here. This is his 4th here today. Festival Hall, a capacity crowd. Tremendous Melbourne weather in March. In fact, it's amazing. It's like an Indian summer. And around about 27 degrees here at the stadium.
It does make it a bit difficult when the place is very warm. I'm sure the fighters are getting pretty exhausted themselves too.
And first round, gentlemen, how do you score it?
It's a bit of a messy round, actually. Both fighters not really doing all that much, apart from tiring each other out with some of the wrestling techniques. But I'm sure both boys will settle down and get into it.
So all contact in this round, in this bout, must be above the waist.
That's correct. A full contact fight means there will be no below the waist kicking, and as Steve said, it was a very close fight. Probably Ange had a couple of, probably Sam had a couple of kicks to the head section of the body, and I'm pretty sure Ange's got some answers for him.
Up for grabs at the moment is the ISKA, Australian Full Contact Light Middleweight title, and I think this crowd is right behind both competitors so far. And the comments from our experts here, a little messy in round number 1. They'll be getting some words from their trainers at the moment to steady back.
I think so. Both trainers, very experienced trainers. In fact, 2 of the best trainers in the States. So
Paul Fifield, I think, in there for Ange Goussis, is our other trainer.
Dave Hedgecock for Sam Soliman.
And Dave Hedgecock himself be a referee later in the evening, and
yes,
a very professional guy.
Dave Hedgecock will be refereeing the 2 main world titles tonight. And actually, talking about good trainers, we've got a couple of good trainers coming up later on the evening, and actually with Jamal Hassan, he'll be on corner of the 2 Australian fighters that's going for the world title. He's another one of the very good trainers, and there's a couple of other good trainers in the crowd here. Australia is really picking up with its kickboxing, and our trainers are doing a big good job with that.
Goose is the aggressor, and again breaking the clinch on the command from Bruce Haynes. Yes. An indication there may have been a headlock in that one.
I'm not saying anything.
Nor am I, because I didn't see it.
I think Ange wants to be an aggressive, straight, full-in, left-right kick, kind of a straight punch-kick fighter, where Sam wants to move around the ring and do some fancy stuff. Now, if you've got a fighter that's coming into you like a bully, it's pretty hard to do all that. So
he's keeping him contained, basically.
I think it's just going to boil down to fitness, and whichever guy's more fit at the end of the fight, if it goes the distance, he will be winning the fight.
Goussis again. It's like right to the head. Oh, left and right combination. Definitely a knockdown that time, no doubt about it. Goussis in the neutral corner. Sam Soliman now backpedaling.
Sam Soliman better keep his hands up now, and he's got this habit of dropping his hands too low because, like I said, he likes to move around and get fancy a little bit too much.
Goussis is ultra quick. Ultra quick.
Yes, it is. Oh, he comes looking for a good cross there. Sam's just trying to come back into the fight there, which I think he done pretty well at the end of the round.
Well, gentlemen, certainly said it was going to change style from our first round. It tightened up. How do you see the points?
Well, it was very close that round, apart from the fact that Ange did drop him with that left-right combination. So at that stage, I'd put Ange slightly in front, but then again, I'm biased. So,
Tarek?
Well, like Steve said, they are settling down a lot more because, as we can see, there was a knockdown on that round. Obviously, get a clean shot like that, he must be settling down a bit more.
I must compliment the crowd here tonight. The response after our last bout, we had Mexican waves of call and what you will up the back, people rising to their feet. This is a real top enthusiast crowd here that have come to see great competition, and they're certainly getting that.
One thing I try to explain to everybody on my promotions that my crowd makes the show. People that come into my shows for the first time, they freak out on what they see. People that have been coming for regular time, they do know what's going on. My crowd makes the show. As much as the fighters put the fights on, the crowd puts the atmosphere on.
They really do get behind the fighters. And the referee having some words to say to both fighters before this next round.
Yes, one would wonder what. We haven't got referee Cam at the moment, so we can't bring in that. But Bruce Haynes doing a top job in there as referee. And aggression plus again, these two, the pace has not slowed down an inch. And again, Goussis in there, clinching over on the far side of the ring from our commentary point. Straight right there. Goussis saying it's over to the ref.
I think Goussis was complaining about a left back elbow there, but the referee probably didn't see it that way.
And now the ref having a word to Goussis.
Sometimes the referee's jobs are very hard.
Score 1-1, I think, on that one.
The referee's jobs are very hard here sometimes, due to the fact that you've got punching coming from the top and you've got kicking coming from the bottom, and sometimes they're mixing the other way around, which makes it very hard for the referee to see everything.
I note Bruce Haynes stands back. I think that would be an advantage to him, would it not, to get the full picture, so to speak?
Well, I believe with the weight he's carrying, he's a bit slower than the other guy, so he has to stay a bit back.
Oh, all those big boys have got to stick together.
A little bit back, but.
Okay, Goussis again, trying to get that combination going.
Talking about Bruce Haynes is the, I believe, world concrete breaking champion.
And tile breaking, that's right.
Tile breaking champion, and I believe he just had a competition not long ago on national television.
The referee again reprimanding both boys.
And I guess this is the time to clean any little problems up. 5 2-minute rounds are scheduled for the decision in the Australian full contact line. Middleweight, and
that was a clean right hand there. Ange did come back on his feet very quickly. I think Sam might get a bit too cocky here, so he's got to be careful because Ange can come back just as strong and damage him back. Both of these fighters are pretty experienced, so they've got to really be careful.
And I say quite openly as a layman, I've got them about scored even at the moment, a knockdown each.
Yes, it's a knockdown each, and they've been both working a lot and doing a lot of scoring, Steve.
Yeah, I think that was definitely Sam's round with that knockdown. So,
how much help now is his trainer going to be? He's the other pair of eyes watching this. What would he possibly be saying at the moment?
Well, I'm not too sure, to be quite honest.
Well, what would you say to him at the moment yourself?
Well, I'd certainly tell him to keep both his hands up at this stage because he is dropping that, particularly his right, an awful lot.
Speaking of Ange Goussis, incidentally.
Yes, that's who I'm speaking of as well.
Yes.
He is dropping his right an awful lot, which is giving Sam the opportunity to collect a couple on the button there. So that's one of the things I'd certainly be saying to him.
Tarek, what would you be saying as opposed to Sam Soliman?
Well, I've been a trainer for 12 years, so I've got a bit of experience on that one, I think. And I would be first trying to wake him up out of the fight. He looks like he's half asleep at the moment, just looking at him in the corner there. When I was on the corner of the boys, I usually just try to suck them up very strongly, and especially on a time like that when they've just been knocked down, I'll probably give a
So talk to him one-on-one.
Talk to him and probably give him a couple of steps and just wake him up and just let him know that he's about to lose the fight if he doesn't put it together, because it's past halfway of the fight. It's very important what he does in his next 1 or 2 rounds.
Second last round coming up now, and we're scoring them down here, as a guess, we may say, fairly evenly.
Do you think this is a very good, evenly matched fight, Steve?
I think so, very much so. Very much so.
The promoter must have done a pretty good job here.
I think the referee, Bruce Haynes, is trying to keep it a very flowing fight too, but is having much difficulty. These two young athletes are certainly going out of hammer and tongs.
Yes, and it is making it a bit more harder for the referee as they just throw a couple of hits and one of them just grabs on. Because like as we saw, both guys have got the power to drop each other down, and they're trying not to take any risks. So each time they're close in a dangerous hinge, one of them will grab the other one.
Ange Goussis fighting in the light trunks and Sam Soliman in the dark trunks here. This is Festival Hall, Melbourne in Australia, and Kickboxing, Major League. On the ropes again, and Bruce Haynes, the referee. He'll be in a lather of sweat before long. Bruce, this is trying to keep a flowing fight. Goussis again, the aggressor. Both fighters have scored a knockdown so far, respectively in rounds 2 and 3.
I think the last round is going to be very interesting, and whichever boy finishes on top on the last round should be able to take this fight out. The fight is still pretty close.
Now that is the 4th time Bruce Haynes has had to speak to these guys and trying to get the fight flowing.
Yes, there's a lot of grabbing, especially by Sam at this stage, and each time a grab is trying to break off, you can see some accidental elbows or headbutts coming through, so the referee's got to be very careful here.
And on the back pedal this time it was Ange Goussis. Sam Soliman in there. Big strong upper body, muscling him into the neutral corner. And the bell. Well, gentlemen, we have 1 round remaining, and I've still got them fairly even. Maybe just Soliman ahead.
Well, again, no comment from me.
I still feel the same way, and I think this last round's going to make it all up. Whoever finishes this last round in front, I believe, should take the fight out. It's been pretty close by both boys. They've both got a knockdown each, and they've both been attacking pretty strongly.
Bruce Haynes also needing a breather at this particular stage in time as he's grabbing his breath over there as Howard Lee goes through the preliminaries for our final round here tonight. This is for the ISKA Australian Full Contact Light Middleweight title. And as we've explained before, the situation is no contact below the belt.
That's correct. No below kicking. And as you were talking about Bruce before, he has done 4 straight fight refereeing, so I believe he's pretty tired. This should be his last one. And he will deserve a good rest after this.
Joe Isiano, in fact, joining us for the next bout, and Joe officiating as a judge.
At the moment, he is officiating as a judge, and like we said, he will be refereeing the next 2 fights.
Well, maybe, just maybe, with Soliman just ahead on points, we go into the final round. This will be 2 minutes of absolute mayhem. The title's up for grabs. Have a look at this.
I believe that was a bit of a slip and a bit of a push.
Yes, I wouldn't call it anything else. Goussis on the aggression. Soliman spins him around into the ropes. Goussis back again. The right kick. Soliman left and right combination. This is going to be a slug job. And Goussis has got the staying power. He's back into it.
I think Sam put in a couple of very clean shots there and slid it out very nicely from the corner. But I'm sure Ange is not going to let go of it there.
Goussis certainly displayed it was that he's got the stamina it takes. He come back in that one. Both of the guys clinching. Time ticking away at this stage. Definitely a points decision. Bruce Haynes trying to give him a fair go again. Soliman on the aggression. Clinching again, flurry of fists. Referee trying to get out the way. Both of these fine young athletes. Very, very tired, but knowing there's a title at the end of this round. And the time is coming very close. Goussis now the aggressor. Soliman steps back. Goussis tries for a front push kick. Didn't do so. Soliman again. In on the ropes. Soliman still working. And again, the referee pulls them apart. Soliman in again. Goussis spins him around.
It's amazing. I thought that Sam will be a bit more unfair than Ange, but the way the fight is progressing,
that's it. It's going to be
Sam's finished with more pressure at the end, and he's put a couple of clean shots in the middle of that last round. So I believe Sam should have won that last fight. If it comes back to what we said before, last round should win the fight. I think Sam might be a little bit in front on this fight.
I wouldn't agree totally there, Tarek. I mean, Sam was using fairly cunning tactics there. He'd throw maybe one or two combinations and then dive in and grab Ange, not allowing him to do anything to counter it. So it's
I've
good
got to tell you,
tactics.
Steve, I wouldn't
It's
like
tactics that might have won him the fight. You're right.
I wouldn't like to be the judge on it. I've got to tell you. It's
Well,
going to be very, very
if
close.
we all can wait another minute or two, I'm pretty sure we can see the outcome of it. But I think at this point, Sam should have won the fight.
I'm sticking with Ange.
So it's going to be a judge's decision to decide on the new title holder for the ISKA Australian full contact light middleweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, by split points in the new Isca Australian full contact light middleweight champion, Sam Pony Boy Soliman. And commiserations, Ange Goussis. Come on, a big round of applause for the Angel, losing very closely. Sam, don't go away. Sam Soliman, come across, Sam. Thanks, Nick Matthew. George, Sam, come across to bring your fiancée in. Jackie, come in and celebrate with Sam before we talk to Sam. George, come round here. Put your arm round. Sam, listen away, look towards the camera. Congratulations against the great champion, Ange Goussis.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I expected him to be a good fighter. I've seen a lot of his fights and I knew it was going to be a hard case. It was imperative that I move. That's about all I can say. And I want to thank my trainer, Dave Getchkov, and my stable mates. And also, I had another trainer I used to train with, and without Dave Getchkov and Dave Berry, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'd like to thank the Frankston boys, the Karinga boys, and the Baxter boys for coming in today. And also I'd like to thank two people who have helped me out since I didn't have work, I didn't have money, and they trusted I could do this. Rihanna over there, Ilhan restaurant, Frankston, and Lee out for hair, Con Davis, I'd like to thank him too. And my dad, he didn't even want me to fight despite I had a cold and I was wheezing and coughing, and he said no, and I worked hard, I trained, and I believed I could do it, and he trusted me after that, and I'm going to fight. Thank you very much. I'd like to say that I love my girlfriend here. She stuck also by me. I know I'm going soft, you know? She likes that shit.
Okay, the Pony Boy, new Australian champion, Sam Soliman. This bout sponsored by Stilman's Bar and the Flower Hots. Mean at ringside. ringside. Don't forget to see Mr. Bob Todd if you want to be part of martial arts examinations and learning more about the craft. See Bob Todd at ringside coming up in May. Is that correct, Bob? See Bob Todd at ringside from the martial arts board. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for the Isca Commonwealth Cruiserweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, with World Rules Champion Darren Hedgecock, assisting from the Bulldog Gymnasium, New South Wales, former Victorian favourite Nick Bad to the Bone Stone. Come on, give Nick a big warm welcome back to Melbourne town. Would you welcome from Manly, New South Wales, scaling 87.1 kilograms, wearing white trunks with red stars, New South Wales Cruiserweight Champion, 24 years of age, a record of 10 bouts, 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Will you welcome the Blaster, Ashley Bada! Across the ring in the red corner with Claudio assisting Jamal Hassan. He is the Isca Australian Cruiserweight Champion from Pasco Vale, scaling 88.5 kilograms, 20 years of age, bad boy, Bada, Arafan! Wearing black trunks with white flapping. Your third person for the first time this evening, World Championship referee, Mr. Joseph Lanciana.
Slight weight difference between these two competitors going out to decide the Isca Commonwealth Cruiserweight title holder from New South Wales, Ashley Buck, weighing in yesterday at 87.1 kilograms, and his opponent, the current title holder, Bada Arafan, coming in at 88.5, just that little bit heavier. Referee has been mentioned by ringside commentator Howard Lee, will be Mr. Joe Iancian. Bruce Haynes now shifting into the role of judge with Mark Colley, I should say, and Lucy Tui. Round number 1. Set down for 5 2-minute rounds to decide the Commonwealth Cruiserweight title for 1994 here tonight at Festival Hall, Melbourne, Australia. Psyching everybody out. Oh, straight away. I'll call it a slip. Buck down on the canvas, not daunted by it. The big psych. Arafan, the aggressor this time with the right. Right kick to the leg. Buck now going in to try and reciprocate with a similar manoeuvre. And now a front push kick by Buck. But Arafan in there. Have a look at this. Buck trying to go mix it up over in the blue corner. Both very fit men. Buck the slightly taller. Arafan again very strong on the legs. Buck turned around, I think, slightly into that one, to be fair to Arafan. Referee Joe Anciano right on the spot. Buck now covers up. Arafan on the attack. Very strong. Buck now, the haymaker slips. Buck now walking up to him. Tosca Petridis joining us in commentary. At this stage, Tosca, we see Buck the aggressor, but certainly Arafan appearing the stronger of the two.
That's right. He's a local favourite in Melbourne. And, the crowd love him, so he will fire up. I've seen him fight a few times, and
Very, very strong in the legs.
he's very strong, and he's a big bomber.
Absolutely, Buck realising that he's got to take the fight up to him, or else Arafan's just going to run away with this event.
That's right. Bada, who's the champion, it's very hard to take a title off the champion.
And joining us in commentary also, Steve Katosis, of course, back down, Katosis I should say, back down talking to Ange Goussis. A rematch would be imminent, I dare say. Waiting for the second round to commence. As I say, Buck the aggressor, but certainly Arafan very, very strong in this. And Buck realises, I think, very quickly he's got to get in and do the business, or Arafan's going to just be too strong if it goes the distance. Round 2 being announced. 2 minutes. Seen a couple of slips. Already the welts appearing on the back of Buck's legs. Buck again the aggressor.
I missed that first round, Ian. How do you... who's winning at the moment?
Well, fairly even. What is happening is that Buck's realising that if he's going to try and mix it with Arafan, he's going to have to be very, very strong. And the kicking of Arafan, absolutely amazing, real powerhouse stuff. I think Tosca will agree on that point.
That's right. He's got big legs, and he can wind up and kick hard. And he will do that. He'll work on his legs and then come over the top of his hands, like he's done so.
Buck's got to be in there getting those points all the time. Oh, yes. Exactly what we've been talking about. And it has been regarded as a knockdown. Oh, lightning quick. Arafan again in there. Taking the right leg of Buck.
Have a look at that shin there.
Yes, bleeding already from a shin injury below the left knee. And that'll be attracting the attention of Dr. Peter Lewis. And Arafan being cautioned by the referee, Joe Anciano. Although I must say that I think it was just one of those carry-on things.
Bada obviously going for that injury on the shin. Trying to end the fight early.
And Dr. Peter Lewis now having a very, very close look at it. He's up at ringside at the moment, be waiting for the bell.
Oh, Jesus.
Timeout being called. Timeout being called, and the doctor being called in. The injury being to Ashley Buck, and the fight's over. The fight is over. Arafan, for what will be classed, gentlemen, as a TKO.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. When the opponent can't go on, he's...
Injury being to the lower left leg from the shin region of Ashley Buck. And the very observant Dr. Peter Lewis coming up. And I think, although Ashley wouldn't be happy with that decision right at the moment, I think the man is there for his welfare.
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, it was obvious that Ashley wanted to go on, but that's what the doctor's there for. He showed a lot of heart. That leg has opened right up.
And a show of sportsmanship immediately. Bada Arafan going over there to speak with him. Now, decision and final decision and announcements. We'll go up to ringside and Howard Lee. Just looking at the ring surface, you don't realise it until looking down just how much blood that he's left.
Well, we're all covered, let me tell you.
And I think that there's a fair bit of blood splattering around, even in the commentary area. And to say again, a very observant Dr. Peter Lewis going in there to stop the fight and saving a severe injury. The leg or the shin absolutely opened up below the left knee, causing a TKO. This is the bet number 5 here. And, of course, retaining the ISKA Commonwealth Cruiserweight title, undoubtedly Bada Arafan, and a delighted crowd here at Melbourne tonight. This has been the outcome of it.
Good to see Machine Gun Charlie. Good evening, Charlie. Charlie Middleweight at ringside this evening. Good fighters just reminding patrons that Sunday, the 22nd of May, the Battle of the Heavyweights. Sunday, May 22, the finest international battle of the heavyweights. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 10 rounds for the International Sport Karate Association Commonwealth Professional Super Middleweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout sponsored by Sleep-On Bedding and Mobile World. Occupying the blue corner, making his debut in Melbourne town. From Brookvale, New South Wales, with Nick Stone in the corner. 20 years of age with a record of 8 bouts, 5 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Tonight's carrying 78.2 kilograms. With Darren Hitchcock assisting Nick Stone from the Bulldog Gymnasium, Sydney, New South Wales. They call him Mr. Damage Man, Dave McKinnon. Dave McKinnon, wearing white trunks with Bulldog and red stars across the ring. In the red corner, Jamal Hassan, Claudio Ferrante. From Broadmeadows, Victoria, for the Commonwealth and Australian champion. He's won 18 out of 19 bouts, carrying 80.6 kilograms. Wearing black trunks with red piping. Would you welcome Celal? Your ringside judges, Hussein Makari, Lucy Sassoon Tui, your third person, Mr. Joseph Lancian.
Contestants for this round, which is another big title fight here tonight at Festival Hall in Melbourne. Coming up to speak, will be spoken to by referee Joe Lanciano. We have the blue corner fighter Dave McKinnon from Brookvale in New South Wales, weighing in at 78.2 kilos. At Celal Ilhan from Broadmeadows in Victoria, weighing in yesterday 80.6, so fairly even, but 2 totally different build guys. Ilhan, very stockily built. We're a little bit more rangy for the New South Walesman, McKinnon. McKinnon coming down here with a big reputation. And up for grabs right at the moment is the ISKA Commonwealth Professional Super Middleweight title.
Well, we've seen Gerald fight many a time, and he's got a very impressive record and a great technique. But I don't know much about Dave McKinnon. He's had most of his fights out of New South Wales, so I haven't seen many of them, but we'll get to see him now.
Very, very fast and aggressive this time. Ilhan taking the fight up to McKinnon, who was previously the aggressor. McKinnon trying to step back from him. Absolutely furious pace to start it off with. As you say, weather conditions here in Melbourne tonight, reaching around about the 30-degree mark. That's around about 85 degrees in the old measure. Referee breaking out again. Joe Lanciano doing the chores here as the third man in the ring. Have a look at this.
Moves well around the ring, this Dave McKinnon. Uses the ring well.
Oscar, your thoughts?
Well, I think David has to stick away from him because Gerald does pack a big punch. He's got a nice uppercut and he does work with his hands well.
Expert commentary coming from Steve Fontosas and Tosca Petridis. McKinnon stepping back. Obviously realises he doesn't want to get in close and mix it with this man. And have a look at this. Celal Ilhan in there, giving him plenty. The end of round number one. Having a quick word to McKinnon about the elbow, but apart from that, fairly even round. And I dare say McKinnon realises that he's up against a powerhouse if it gets in close.
Well, I think Gerald's going to, if fitness prevails, I think Gerald's going to be too strong for this kid. He's trying to cut him off. He's trying to get him to work in close because that's Gerald's forte. Very strong in close, especially with those uppercuts, as Tosca was saying. And I think it may be a matter of time as long as Keith can keep moving around the ring the way he does for 7 rounds. Maybe he won't catch him, but I have a feeling that he will.
So Celal uses the name of Gerald.
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 That's right.
Makes it easier.
Yes.
With no disrespect to his name.
That's his Australian name.
He's an absolute powerhouse. Twice there I saw him come to grips, and McKinnon did the smartest thing. He started backing off. He didn't need to mix it with this man.
Well, he has to because Gerald, if he sits in there with Gerald, he's going to just box his ears off. And he knows that, so he's got to dance around. He's probably backing on the later rounds to pick off Gerald.
So the two of them, we think, possibly evenly matched, but could come down to points. Unless we see Gerald move in there. Gerald in the black trunks, and Dave McKinnon in the white trunks. McKinnon from New South Wales, and Gerald from Broadmeadows in Victoria. Oh, very strong in close. Combinations starting to come together. Gerald on the aggression here. Backing him into the red corner. McKinnon trying everything to back off. Gerald's having no part of this. And McKinnon grabbing him there. Referee Joe Lanciano going in there very quickly, breaking them up. McKinnon staying back, trying to pick up points. Long, rangy. Gerald working on the body now. Referee again. Referees tonight certainly earning their money.
They certainly are. Not an envious job.
Gerald starting to land them now. In the blue corner. Big, powerful punches left and right. Kick to the left leg, kick to the right leg. And he's put him down. Gerald going to the neutral corner. Count being applied. It's over. It's over. Referee has stopped the fight. TKO. Joel Ilhan winner of the 94 Isca Commonwealth Professional Super Middleweight title here at Festival Hall tonight. Just too strong, gentlemen.
I think Gerald was working up and downstairs brilliantly. He's working his legs, then he's coming over to the body, for headshots, around, up, straight. He's just too strong for David. Steve.
I agree with you, Tosca. I thought it was going to be a matter of time after looking at Dave in the first round there. Gerald would be too strong for him, and it was just a case of him cutting him off and getting in close. That's exactly what he did.
Very disappointed, Dave McKinnon, also being attended by Dr. Peter Lewis. And I must commend the association here for their absolute meticulous care of their boxers. And it's really supporting to see that they're very keen not to let anything go that might be doubtful.
That's right. Peter Lewis is the ISK president. He's also the doctor here. And he always looks after the fighters. And if you see someone hurt, he'll go in there and stop the fight.
And I think it was fairly clear in hindsight that, in fact, McKinnon was hurt.
Oh, he was, yeah.
Ready to go up to ringside and the official announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, continuing the great run of Melbourne kickboxers this evening, would you congratulate the new Isca Commonwealth Professional Super Middleweight Champion, Ilhan. We say bad luck to Dave McKinnon. Come on, Melbourne, give Dave McKinnon a big round of applause. Fought very gallantly from Brookvale, New South Wales. Lovely Kim will be carrying our numbers for the scheduled 7 rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for the International Sport Karate Association Amateur World Super Middleweight Championship. Would you welcome the holder in the blue corner? Ladies and gentlemen, from Newport, Wales, 31 years of age, with Peter Stuart in the corner. He is the Welsh light heavyweight champion and the Isca super middleweight champion of the world with a record of 34 bouts, 32 wins, 2 losses, 9 by knockout. Wearing red trunks with gold piping, representing the United Kingdom, the Crusher, Clewly. Occupying the red corner from Knox City, Victoria, Australia. He is the Victorian, Australian, Commonwealth and South Pacific champion with a record of 13 bouts, 12 wins, 1 loss, 8 wins by knockout, spinning 76.2 kilograms. With Jamal and Claudio in the corner, would you welcome, wearing black and blue, sponsored by Gurkan, Ozkan. They headshot, 7 rounds.
This particular show.
2 totally different builds, 2 totally different fighters from 2 totally different parts of the world. Amazing, isn't it? I couldn't get over the emotion prior to this event, the second last event, one of 2 major events on tonight's card, brought to you from Festival Hall here in Melbourne. Perfect conditions, summer, if you like, at the end of March, and 7 2-minute rounds coming our way. In the red corner for this event, Gurkan, Ozkan, and in the blue corner from Wales, Keith Clewly. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Well, speaking to Gurkan earlier, he said we were in for an early night tonight, so I've got to take him to his word because he's done that out of the last 3 fights. Sent his opponents home early, so I haven't seen Keith fight, but he's got an impressive record of 34 fights, 32 wins.
And barefooted too. I note he's not wearing the foot padding. His choice. Whoa! Whoa! Short night. Clewly, receiving end.
Nice short right there by Gurkan. Let's see if he capitalises on this. He's going straight in again. Wild swinging hooks. Straight right, another hook, another right.
Clewly just not getting anything in here. Trying to step back. The world is a daze to him at the moment.
Can he recover?
Clewly, punishment.
He's trying to fight back.
Dave Hedgecock watching. He stopped it.
No.
No,
He's going to give him a standing 8 count.
Send him back to the neutral corner. He's talking to Clewly. And Clewly just looks no match here for Ozkan.
Well, Gurkan's not giving him much of a chance. He's coming straight in again.
1 minute and 10. The first round.
Keith trying to fight back.
Trying desperately to fight back.
Another straight right there.
Clewly bleeding profusely from the nose. Ozkan in now. Laying in heavy punches up against the ropes over towards the red corner. Clewly trying to see daylight. Lefts and rights. Clewly trying to kick out of trouble. His punches having absolutely no effect on Ozkan. He glands him again. He's all out of it. All over. All over the first round, about 1 minute at 51. 1 minute 51 at TKO. Clewly trying to get in there to congratulate Ozkan. He can't get in there for supporters at the moment. Well, a scene of almost hysteria and happiness.
Well, Gurkan's prediction came true again. Oscar, what do you think?
Well, it's typical Gurkan, mate. I'm glad he's one Australian boy, and I expected that. He always comes out firing, and he did the job on him. What can I say?
He really didn't give him a chance to do anything.
No, he just jumped on him.
Nothing was going to deter him, was it? It was just full on, straight away.
He just jumped on, didn't give him a breather.
Unofficially at around about 1 minute 50, 1:52. Unofficially, I do repeat, that was the distance of the final over in the first round.
Well, it really went downhill for Keith. About 20 seconds into the fight with that short right from Gurkan, dropped him onto the canvas, and it was all downhill after that.
Yes, well, certainly a lot of happy fans here at the moment. The official announcement.
Well, it's probably going to take a good 5 to 10 minutes to clear the crowd out.
Yes, it certainly is. Howard Lee struggling there. Photos being taken, everybody trying to get into the act. One guy with a soccer t-shirt on, he's keen. He clearly looked like his plan for the day was to stand back and try and pick him off, but I think he underestimated Gurkan Ozkan. He just flew into that fight, and you could feel the power of the punches, and regardless of what retaliation that Clewly put up, there was just no penetration of this barrage. It was like, what was it, a steam train heading towards you with no brakes.
Well, Gurkan, I think he's just too strong. He just, like, bored him. Working up the stairs, downstairs, and it paid off for him.
I think whatever plans Keith Clewly had went out the door 20 seconds into the fight. He caught that short right, and down he went.
Well, certainly the parochial crowd here, enjoying every minute of it, up on their feet, absolutely roaring. And a big night in Melbourne town here for Gurkan Ozkan, the winner of the Isca Amateur World Super Middleweight title. We'll be back in a moment with the official announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute, 48 seconds into round one, the new Isca World Super Middleweight Champion from Melbourne, Australia, Gurkan Ozkan. Gurkan, it's a marvellous night for you, and you came out smoking right from the start.
Words can't describe what I'm feeling right now at this moment. Since the start of the year, I've been training very, very hard. Well, you know, I just came here to do one thing, and I did it. And without the crowd, you know, the atmosphere is unbelievable. Without you guys, I love you all. You are Melbourne to me. I'd like to thank Keith for coming from England. Thanks very much. Good fight. I'd like to thank my trainer, Jamal Hassan. He's the best trainer in the world. He's proven it. I mean, I've only started 3 years ago training, fighting 2 years. I mean, any one of you can start 2 years, not a problem. But you got to have discipline. My promoter, Tarek, thank you very much. You told me to say that. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank my sponsors. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Nick Smith from AMC, The Palmer's Restaurant, John Video from Broadmeadows, Black and Blue for making these excellent shorts, Underworld Gym, Healthy Life. You know, without them, it's pretty hard tough out there financially. Bayram Mübarek olsun. Hadi. I love you all. I'd love to talk to you one by one, but after party, we'll all have a chat. Thanks. And good luck to my friend Tibet. and see you next time.
Gurkan, Clewly, bad luck, please come across. The great sports in this country. Come on, give our former world champion Clewly a big Melbourne bad luck, please. We got you right away, you battled on, you weren't happy with the stoppage, Keith.
No, I can't take anything away with the way Gurkan starts. You know, there's no fault in that, but no one understands the way I fight. I gotta get hit. My guard was still there. I'm still on my... All right, I could shut up, but I'm not happy, okay? No.
Keep going, Keith.
Okay. Now, like I saw the person fight, I gotta take a few punches before I can get into it, right? I'm a slow starter. Okay? Gurkan is obviously a very fast starter. You know, we're contrasting in styles there. You know, so obviously he's gonna throw punches at me when my guard is still up, okay? I'm still on my feet. I believe I am capable of more the more you can see, because as I said, it takes me a while to start. But obviously, you know, Gurkan's side, and as I said, I can't take nothing away from the way he starts, because that's the way he fights. Okay? This is how I start, and that's how I end it, mate. You want another guard? Let's go. All right?
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Bora Altentas to both corners, just to wish good race. Colin, Stilman and Tibet Hamza. Bora Altentas, World Championship coming up on May the 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome them to ringside, the International Sport Karate Association, the World Kickboxing Association and the Professional Karate PFC Champion of the World, Light Heavyweight and Light Cruiserweight Champion, Mr. Tosca Penreeders. Give Tosca a warm centering welcome. Tosca Penreeders. I'll pass that back to you, Bruce. Ladies and gentlemen, this World Championship match, your third person, when the bell tolls, Dave Hedgecock, Australia. Ringside judges, Joe Lancian, Lucy Sassoon Tui, New Zealand. Bruce Haynes, Australia. Your ringside physician, Dr. Peter Lewis, President of the Australian chapter of Isca International. Mustafa and Sheridan. Also at ringside, watching very closely the fortunes of both kickboxers. Representing the state government, martial arts extraordinaire, Bob Tydman, Bart McCarthy.
Referee Dave Hedgecock going over to check both fighters. They'll be checking for any articles, obstacles that shouldn't be there.
Cool.
Gentlemen, your early predictions for this event?
I know Tibet's a fast starter and he's strong. And if Tibet jumps on him, we'll do the same thing as Gurkan did.
Steve?
Well, we haven't seen Colin Stilman fight, but he's had 30 fights for 28 wins, so his record again is very impressive. He's from Wales, same part of Wales as Keith Clewly.
We'll go up to ringside again with Howard Lee.
From Barry, South Wales, 23 years of age. He is the United Kingdom and Welsh light welterweight champion, wearing U-type trunks, red and black, with Peter Stuart in the corner. His record is 30 bouts, 28 wins, 2 losses, 13 wins by knockout, scaling 64.6 kilograms. Would you welcome from the United Kingdom, Colin Stone Cold Stilman! You're going down! Occupying the red corner from Birol, Victoria, Australia. 21 years of age, standing 64.5 kilograms. Wearing the familiar white trunks with Tibet emblazoned on the front. Commonwealth professional, WKA lightweight champion, and Victorian AWF and Isca champion. Would you welcome with Jamal Hassan, Claudio and Birol in the corner. I dubbed him the gentleman of kickboxing. Tibet!
Dave Hedgecock calling both the competitors. This is a title up for grabs. The ISKA Freestyle World Light Welterweight title. Let's get that correct. These guys are only within, well, an ounce or two of each other. Stillman weighing in at 64.06. Hamza at 64.05. Gentlemen, the weights are almost identical.
Well, this is going to be a real tough fight. Again, as I said before, Colin Stilman we haven't seen much of, but his record speaks for itself. 30 fights, 28 wins. Tibet, we know, is a tough fighter. He'll go out really fast and really hard early. So let's see what Colin delivers back.
We've mentioned that Dave Hedgecock, is the referee. Judges in this one, Joe Leonciano, Bruce Haynes, and Lucy Tui from New Zealand. Round number 1. Treating each other with respect to start it off, which would be expected. Will it go the distance is the question. The previous bout all over in 1 minute and 48. Open title here at Festival Hall. The temperature has increased here in the hall to around about 32 degrees. That's nearly 90 degrees in the old scale. Both guys just sussing each other out. Left and right spy the Welshman. And a right by Tibet, gets right in there. Kick to the right leg by Tibet. Retaliation by the Welshman.
Oh, nice roundhouse kick to the jaw.
And you can see the jaw instantly become red, so it was good contact. And
slip. That was just a slip.
Okay, Dave Hedgecock seeing it the same way. Keeping an eye on this competition.
Good technique by both fighters. Trying to work each other out in this first round. Both boys in for some sore shins tonight. Both checking beautifully.
Tosca Petrides again joining us in commentary. Be a lot of thoughts going through their minds trying to settle down in this event.
That's right. I think Tibet's trying to land his right hand. That's his favourite technique at the moment. And he's good at it, and he's dropped a lot of guys with it.
Less than 30 seconds remaining in this one. first of 12 rounds on the program.
Half slip, half knockdown.
Half slip, half knockdown. The Welshman been on the canvas twice. And there's the bell. Bell for the first round. What would be the thoughts in the respective corners? Firstly, Tosca in the visitors' corner. We'll call that the Welshman's corner.
Well, I think it's pretty even because he did fight back, and a few good hands, leg combinations. But then Tibet nailed him with a good right round kick to the head and a few good right hands. So I'll give it pretty even.
Steve Contossus, your thoughts about Hamza's corner and his effort in the first round?
I thought he did quite well. It's not like him not to go straight into the fight. He sat back and tried to see what the other guy had. He did, I think, score more than the Welshman, Colin Stilman. So,
Okay,
I put him slightly in front.
Would we agree to agree that we've got Hamza at this stage ahead on points?
Well, I think he would because nerves are playing a bit of part of it because he's usually a lot faster starter.
Yes, I was watching it. They were very wary of each other. Great respect.
Well,
Round number 2 coming our way. Having problems with the red corner seat and just waiting for that to clear.
Round 2.
Dave Hedgecock. Fighters touch gloves. Welshman the aggressor. Hamza retaliating very quickly. See the welts appearing on the legs. And one would also have to wonder how the weather is affecting the Welshman coming out of what would be, I would think, a fairly cold season.
That's right. If it goes 12 rounds, it's going to play a big part in it.
.45 seconds and counting down. This is round number 2 for a bout that's programmed for 12 rounds. Festival Hall, Melbourne. A capacity house here to see these two World Championship events at the moment. The open event here is the ISKA Freestyle World Light Welterweight title up for grabs. Welshman in the dark trunks. It's Colin Stilman in the white trunks. Tibet Hamza from Australia. Weights, as we mentioned before, almost identical. 64.06 for Stilman, and Hamza are coming in at 64.05. 05. I'll get myself right here. Stilman. Oh, Hamza.
Nice right hand by
Really getting into it there. Got Stilman on the back foot now. And Dave Hedgecock warning him. 153, the bell not
Another
far
nice
away.
right hand. Another one.
Another one, he's got him
And
in
another
trouble.
one on the jaw there.
12-7 in that one.
Ooh. Had him on the back pedal big time. Your comments?
I counted at least 3 or 4 straight rights that landed straight on the jaw of Colin Stilman. Good round for Tibet Hamza.
Oscar?
I agree with that. Tibet just ended up a lot stronger at the end of the round. I would have gave him that round easy.
I think he settled down maybe a little bit more than the Welshman.
That's right. I think his nerves have gone and he's settling to the job.
It's definitely round 3 coming up. I just noticed that. Both corners.
Oh, I see, yeah. I see what was attached to the top.
Both corners are speaking intently. And if anything, Hamza seems the more relaxed of the two.
Well, that's right. I think his trainer Jamal's telling him to go out and jump on him because I think he has hurt him in the last round.
So at the time the last bout went, of course, 1 minute 48 the first round, it was all over. Again, problems with the round 3 being announced. The seat in the red corner just not getting away as quick as possible.
Interesting to see what Colin does in this round.
Stillman realising he's got to take the fight up to Hamza now and handle him. How he will do that, I'm not sure. Hamza breaking through the defences. And backing Stillman into that corner. That's where he attacked before. Stillman boxing out. Leading with the left. Back attacking the right leg of Hamza, but Hamza too quick on the feet that time. Oh! Big punches, big kicks. Stilman hanging on, he's in trouble. And one that went astray a little bit there. Stilman not giving up.
Nice check.
Stilman the shorter of the two. Hamza noticeably more rangy.
Nice uppercut.
Hedgecock running in there too. Have a word with him. What would you think that'd be about?
I think it's because Tibet grabbed him behind the neck and uppercut him.
Okay.
Nice work by Tibet there.
As McKinnon.
I think it's a slip.
We're calling it a slip.
There might be something wrong with his right leg there, but we'll see. As the
I
fight
noticed too
progresses.
he's not wearing the foot protection or the foot.
Well,
pads.
they're really on the ankle supports. It's just to avoid twisting of the ankle. So it offers no real protection to the foot when it comes to kicking.
So it is in fact an ankle support.
I really do think there's
Looking
something.
bad for Stilman.
His legs
You've
hurt.
seen him look up at Hedgecock. He wants to go on with it.
No, I think there's something wrong with that leg of his. Every time it.
It's folding up on him.
Tibet's been working on that leg, and I think it's paying off dividends for him.
It's that right leg there. Every time he connects with it, he goes down on the canvas. So it really is
There's
hurting him.
something weak that's there. Do you see it in the knee, the ankle, where?
Well, I think it's just above the knee. I'm not too sure. Might even be the shin. I'm really not sure. There's definitely something wrong with the leg.
Time counting down.
The doctor's in Colin's corner
Round 4
checking him
coming
out.
up. Programmed to go 12 rounds. You know,
I'm not too sure at this stage. I think it might end early. I don't think that unless something unique happens or strange happens.
Dave Hedgecock has just been able to visit the Wellsman's corner of Colin Stilman and has come back. They're obviously going on with it. And if Tibet sees there's a weakness, I'm sure we'll see an attack in this round.
That's right, he'll go for that leg.
Touch of gloves. Tibet. Stilman tried to lead with boxing. Tibet working on the leg. Senses there may be a weakness. And again, he seemed to back off again. Series of well-placed kicks. And in real trouble, Stilman at the moment. Tibet, lefts and rights, up against the ropes. Over the blue corner they are now. And Tibet groggy. Trying to recover. Direction Stilman. Groggy trying to recover. Tibet just watching. I'm getting taken away by Tibet's eyes, just aiming on Stilman. And Tibet just seems to have settled right down. Oh, and that was no doubt a slip.
Tibet settled down and is there to do the job now. He's just body kicking him. His just kicks are, I think, just too strong for Colin. I think they're just hurting him too much.
The Wellsman trying to box it out. Every time we've seen an exchange, he seems reluctant to use the legs. Watching it now. Tibet going in. Welshman trying with a ranging kick. Absolutely appears no power at all behind it.
Well, I think it's a ploy. I think Tibet hasn't picked up that his right leg is hurting him, and he uses it occasionally to show that it isn't. But I really do think his right leg is suffering. I could be wrong, though.
Tibet Hamza in the white trunks, and the Welshman Colin Stilman in the red and black trunks. And he goes down again.
Nice inside leg kick.
Dave Hedgecock going over and questioning him.
No, just giving him a count. Another good round for Tibet, I think.
Got to the halfway mark at this stage, and I sense that Stilman is in trouble.
Oh, very much.
Before I was getting carried away, and I called it that In fact, Hamza was the one that was the problem. He wasn't. He was the aggressor, and I couldn't help feeling I was getting taken back by the stare of his eyes was coming down here. He really just was concentrating on what he was doing. I'm sitting direct behind where Stilman was, and it was just the target, the target, the target. He was pushing onward.
Well, that's right. He's there. His focus is there to the job, and that's what he's focusing on.
Whereas we're watching Stilman, and he seemed to be sort of watching all the time and thinking it through. And every time he seems to be leading with boxing rather than well placing his kicks.
Well, I think his legs are hurt, especially the right one, and that's why he's just trying to box a bit more.
Steve Costanzo, your thoughts?
Well, I agree with Tosca. I think his legs, particularly his right leg, is in trouble. And I think if Tibet realises this, he'll catch him early, because as soon as the legs start to hurt, the hands start to drop.
Not to the halfway mark yet. This is round 5 of 12 2-minute rounds here to decide the ISKA Freestyle welterweight title. It is open. Nobody has got it. One of these guys is going to walk out here tonight, the world champion in that division. Exchanges here in close. Tibet definitely the stronger when it comes to punching.
That's right, but Colin's showing a lot of heart, but I think Tibet just way too strong for him in kicking department and punching department.
Certainly more rangy and able to stand back and place his kicks much better. It doesn't seem a big effort for him to get a head kick in. Oh, big one. That's it. It's all over, I'd say.
Nice left.
Stilman. See the head shake around. He's groggy on his feet.
He's back up. He's back up. It was a nice straight left by Tibet. Let's see if he finishes the job now. Can Colin recover? No, he's down.
That's it.
Beautiful shot. Short right.
He's game.
Waiting to see. He's going to take it again. What a heart this guy's got. No towel from the corner. Dave Hedgecock.
He's here to fight, this guy.
Very concerned. Ducks in underneath. Tibet goes in. He knows he's got him. It's all over. It's all over. And we see another new world champion here tonight. Tibet Hamza from Greenvale here in Victoria. Our congratulations to him. Unofficially at 1 minute and 32 seconds in the 5th round, taking out the ISKA Freestyle Worldwide Welterweight title here at Festival Hall, Melbourne. The crowd jubilation is absolutely unbelievable. We've got the ring absolutely full, security people having great difficulty, and at the moment they're trying to get some fresh air around young Colin Stilman. And credit be to this young fighter, a heart as big as a lion.
Oh, that's right. He came here to fight. There's no doubt about that. But Tibet was just way too strong for him. And after the first round, it was just all Tibet's.
Your thoughts on this, Steve Costanzo?
Well, I'm just watching at the festivities now, and it's watching it on the TV screen because I can't see anything from my ringside position here. But Tibet's obviously very, very happy. I'm looking at directly at Colin Stilman in the corner there, and he's a very sad person at the moment. He copped some serious punishment there, both to his legs, and in the 5th round there, some punishing lefts and rights to the head. Great performance by Colin, but you've got to hand it to Tibet.
Oh,
From round 1, he won every round and finished the job early in the 5th.
It's obviously attributing to his problems. I will agree with you, gentlemen. There was a leg problem for Stilman after the 2nd round, and Tibet had certainly done the job there.
That's right, there was, but Tibet did work on his legs a lot, and you can't take nothing away from Tibet.
No, absolutely nothing. That's what I'm saying, that he worked on it. By the 2nd round, he had the problem, and from there on, you could see that his concentration was there. He got on with the job.
That's exactly right.
We're going to set a ring for all the festivities, and as you can see here at Festival Hall, the place has gone wild.
Yep. Tibet, your championship belt. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute, 33 seconds into round 5. Would you congratulate the new Isca Freestyle World Light welterweight champion of the world, took off the gentleman of the world, Hamza! And ladies and gentlemen, would you say bad luck? All the way from Wales, Barry in Wales, Colin Stilman, a very gallant fighter. Come on, give him Colin Stilman a big round of applause. He showed a lot of courage there against Tibet Hamza.